Somewhere right now, an AI agent has more access than the person who deployed it even realizes. Not science fiction, not a thought experiment. This is happening inside real companies on real infrastructure this year. So today we are talking about AI escaping its sandbox and hacking the platform it was supposed to be contained inside of it. So speaking of this, so for the last 2 years, every AI vendor has said some version of the same sentence. So don't worry, it is sandbox. The sandbox is the offense. It is the idea that an AI agent can write code, browse the web, touch your files, but stay contained inside a box that can't reach anything else. Huh, shock on you. So in 2026, the first started falling in public. A vulnerability tracked as CVE 2025-6514 in the infrastructure that lets AI agents talk to outside tools. That's sometimes like we can find like things like the MCP, the Model Context Protocol, was rated 9.6 out of 10 on the severity scale, so close to the maximum. It allowed remote code execution, meaning an attacker could run their own commands through what was supposed to be controlled connection. So around the same time, the security researchers disclosed CVE 2025-59536, a hook, a hook's injection flows in popular AI coding agent. So we are simply opening a booby-trapped repository could trigger malicious instructions automatically. No clicks, no approval, just opening the file. Then there's the supply chain angle. This one should worry every founder listening. A package called postmark.mcp used to connect AI agents to email, shipped 15 clean release before quietly adding code that exfoliated emails straight out of the system. 15 release of trust weaponized on the 16th. So a separate incident involving the backdoor build of Light LLM, a widely used AI infrastructure library, 47,000 downloads in the 3 hours before anyone caught it. So in January 2026, the CV 2026, the file 255, the file 2553 was logged. The first official vulnerability ever assigned specifically on an agent AI system. It was a remote code execution flow in the open close skill runtime. Within days, attackers ran what's now called the Cloud Havoc campaign, pushing over 1,000 malicious skills into the OpenClaw marketplace, deploying a credential-stealing malware called Amos to anyone who installed it. So here's the mechanic stripped down. An AI agent doesn't decide to go rogue. It gets manipulated, something we call jailbreaking. Someone hides an instruction inside a file, a web page, an email, and config setting. Somewhere the agent will read, but a human won't think to check. The agent reads it as a legitimate command because the model, a text is a text. It can't always tell the user told me this from a stranger buried this a document I was asked to summarize. So that's called prompt injection. It's the single biggest reason sandbox escape keeps happening. The sandbox was never broken by force. It was talked out of its own rules. So the layer on top of that, most AI coding agents run on the or with whatever permission the developer has. Full file access, full network access. So the moment an agent is compromised, it isn't just the agent that compromised. It's everything that the developer could touch. One document case this year tracked under the code name the GTG 1002 involved as a state-sponsored group that used a hijacked coding agents to carry out an estimated 80 to 90% of an entire espionage operation against roughly 30 targets, largely on autopilot with the minimal human operators actually driving it. So that's not a hacked laptop, that's a hacked workforce of one. So Anthropic's own disclosure spells out how it happened. The attackers didn't ask Cloud Code to hack anything directly. They posed as legitimate cybersecurity firm running defensive testing and broke the operation into small, innocent-looking tasks. So the model never saw the full malicious picture. That the social engineering of the model is what got it past its own guardrails. Once inside, cloud sub-agents mapped the attack surface, scanned infrastructure, found vulnerabilities, and wrote exploit code, with a human only spending 2 or 10 minutes per target reviewing and signing off. Worth noting, it is only spending 2 or 10 minutes per target reviewing and signing off. So it wasn't flawless. The model reportedly hallucinated some findings, claiming credentials that didn't actually work. So this wasn't a perfect machine, just a fast and a cheap one. So, and it's not just one model incident. Researchers have started testing this systematically. One benchmark deliberately fed poison ruled instruction to 8 different frontier models: GPT-4, 4o, Cloud 3.7 Sonnet, Cloud 4 Sonnet, Gemini 2.5 Pro, DeepSeek version 3, the V3, DeepSeek R1, QWQ and 32B, and Quen 3.32B. So to see how often each could tricked into an executing an unauthorized command, most of them failed badly. GPT-4 and DeepSeek R1 got manipulated into running unauthorized command 98% of the time. Gemini, so that's how. So why it matters if you're building with AI right now, if you're an entrepreneur in Nairobi or anywhere in the continent, building with Lovable, Casa or Bolt, Replit or any coding tool, so you might be thinking this is a big tech problem. So a recent industry survey found 88% of organizations had confirmed or suspected AI agent security incidents in the past year. So a recent industry survey found 8% of organizations had a confirmed or suspected AI agent security incident in the past year. So 88%, that number doesn't discriminate by company size. If anything, smaller teams are software targets. Fewer security layers, faster shipping, more trust extended to the tools by default. Okay, so if you are plugging an AI agent into your client's WhatsApp automation, your booking system, your finance dashboard, and the agent has API keys, database access, or email permissions, you are the sandbox. Whatever it can reach, an attacker who manipulates it can reach it too. So what actually reduces the risk? This isn't a panic or an unplug everything moment. It is a stop treating AI agents like trusted employees with root access. Moment NVIDIA's AI Red Team published a framework this year calling it those 3 control mandatory, not suggestions. So the first one is lockdown egress. Your agent should only be able to talk to destination you have explicitly approved, not the open internet. Unnamed list. Two, workspace only rights. So the agent edits files inside its own lane, not your whole file system, not production directly. So three, never let one compromise skill plugin or MCP package have a blast radius bigger than the task it's doing. This privilege isn't a buzzword anymore, it's a fence. So yeah, the sandbox is dead as a concept. It's just no longer as it's a set it and forget it thing. It's a discipline. So I've been your host. So see you on the next episode.